Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 5 o'clock after Election Day, history has been made in the state of Kentucky. Coming up, we'll have a look at the wins and losses across the state.
Comments made on social media causing controversy at the University of Kentucky. Coming up, we'll tell you exactly what happened.
And an embattled automaker is offering incentives to those with recalled vehicles. Those stories and more, also breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT This Morning. Good morning to you. I'm Barbara Bailey, in for Bill Bryant, who had a very late night last night. Glad you're with us today.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here, Barbara. Really exciting election night.
Well, and I stayed up way too late watching everything, too. I just love elections as all the things come in. A lot of surprises, big wins for the GOP across the country.
Yeah, and it was great weather yesterday. Obviously, that resulted in a higher turnout at the polls. And weather today not looking quite as great, Micah.
No, it's not. I mean, we're looking outside, and what we see, widespread rain, and we're going to be holding on to that throughout much of the day. Now, this front really won't push all the way through until later on this evening and off into the nighttime hours, so just expect a sloppy go at it this morning and a sloppy turnout toward the afternoon. There's your rain. We'll put this thing in motion on Defender, and you can see a lot of that just not even moving. So it's going to hold tight. Lexington, we've been in the rain for about, I'd say, 3 or 4 hours. So just know that those roadways are pretty slippery anywhere you go. 55 degrees this afternoon, a wet one in store. And then the focus of the forecast is back behind the rain. The rain is the focus today, but in the upcoming days, it's feeling like winter instead of fall. And I know a lot of us aren't ready for it just yet, but it's on its way, and I'll show you that coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thanks so much, Micah. It was a long, hard-fought, and expensive campaign, but after Election Day, Senator Mitch McConnell has won a 6th term in the Senate.
Now, it was an easy win for McConnell. The election was called just an hour after the polls closed. He received 56% of the vote, beating out Democratic challenger Allison Lundergan Grimes. WKYT's Victor Puente is at the live desk now with a look at last night's senator's race. Victor?
Well, since the start of this campaign, McConnell's team did its best to tie Grimes to President Obama. After last night's race, it's obvious that strategy worked. Yesterday, Grimes said she expected the voters of Kentucky to surprise the nation. After her campaign fell short, she said she was proud of the race she ran. Grimes came into the race a 5-point underdog, according to the final WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass poll. But when the results came in, she'd fallen short by 15. McConnell said the election sends several messages. He says the campaign wasn't about him or his opponent.
It was about a government that people no longer trust to carry out its most basic duties, to keep them safe.
While tonight didn't bring us the result that we had hoped for, this journey, the fight for you, it was worth it. I will continue to fight for the Commonwealth of Kentucky each and every day.
Grimes will continue her duties as Kentucky's Secretary of State. Now, McConnell also used his position as leader of the Republicans in the Senate in the campaign. He said if he lost, Kentucky wouldn't be as strongly represented in Washington. At the live desk, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Senator McConnell may be Senate Minority Leader now, but he could become Senate Majority Leader now that Republicans have taken control of the Senate. WKYT political editor Bill Bryant said Senator McConnell successfully made the case that his influence in Washington is important to the state.
At the same time, he successfully tied Grimes to President Obama, who, as we see in polling, is unpopular in Kentucky. And I think that's what generated his margin of victory tonight.
Exit polling of Kentucky voters found Senator McConnell did well with people older than 40, those who make more than $100,000 a year, and people who live in the suburbs. Female voters were split evenly between McConnell and Grimes.
Well, for the first time in more than a decade, a Lexington mayor has won a 2nd term.
Incumbent Mayor Jim Gray won by a comfortable margin, winning by 30% of the vote and getting about 27,000 more votes total than his challenger, Anthony Beatty. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is live from downtown Lexington with a recap of last night's mayoral election. Good morning to you, Whitney.
Good morning, everyone. About an hour after the polls closed, it was clear that incumbent Mayor Jim Gray had won a second term in office. This is the first time in a decade that voters re-elected an incumbent mayor. By 7:30, Gray's lead over challenger Anthony Beatty was already more than 22,000 votes, making his win a certainty. During the campaign, two key issues became the subjects between Gray and Beatty: a summer crime wave with ideas on how to combat it, along with financing for a renovated Rupp Arena. Once it was clear last night that Gray had won 2/3 of the votes, Beatty conceded. He thanked his family, volunteers, and supporters and said he was, quote, blessed for this experience. Beatty served as Lexington's police chief from 2001 to 2008. His campaign focused on forming relationships with the people of Lexington. As for Gray, he served as vice mayor from 2006 to 2010. Live in downtown Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
The top Democrat in the Kentucky Senate was defeated. Senate Minority Leader R.J. Palmer lost the Senate District 28 race to Republican Dr. Ralph Alvarado. Alvarado had filed a defamation lawsuit over one of Palmer's campaign ads, claiming it used edited video of a courtroom exchange that was taken out of context. The district covers all of Clark and Montgomery counties and part of Fayette County as well.
In Madison County, voters chose a new judge executive. Longtime Democratic judge executive Kent Clark has lost to Republican Reagan Taylor. Taylor won by more than 3,000 votes.
Kentucky voters kept the election fraud hotline busy during Election Day.
Attorney General Jack Conway's report says the hotline received 226 calls. Voters in Jefferson County made the bulk of those calls with a grand total of 57. Tied for second were Fayette and Madison counties, and Magoffin County had the most calls in a county complaining about bribery.
Now, if we haven't mentioned your county's results here, we have you covered online. We have a full list of city, county, and state results from around Kentucky on our website at WKYT.com.
New this morning, an irate customers in jail accused of attacking several Lexington police officers. Police arrested Kashia Brown yesterday at the Meyer in Hamburg. According to the arrest citation, Brown threatened several employees after being confronted about shoplifting. When police arrived, they say she bit an officer, kicked him in the groin, and spit in his face. Brown faces several charges, including assault of a police officer.
Well, comments on social media are causing some controversy at the University of Kentucky.
After a student allegedly posted a racial slur as a comment on a university-run Instagram account, some fraternity and sorority members say the racist comments were directed at them, and they claim the university isn't punishing the person responsible. The president of one of those fraternities said when he made a complaint to UK, they told him the student who made the comment was just exercising his right to free speech.
That was a violation of the student code of conduct because it's a form of harassment.
Rashad says he will meet with the chief dean of diversity next week to discuss the issue further.
An embattled car retailer is now offering gift cards as an incentive to bring in recalled vehicles. General Motors is offering $25 cards for anyone who brings in a recalled vehicle to be fixed. The gift cards are to a variety of stores. They say nearly half of the vehicles recalled for faulty ignition switches have not been fixed. The faulty ignitions have been tied to at least 29 deaths.